The artist, Banksy, is known for incorporating images in his artwork, like children, monkeys, elephants, or this one of his most famous pieces. And our next guest knows his work very well.
And Nick Suszynski is one of the largest official Banksy private collectors in the world, and he's here today to tell us a little bit more about it. So welcome to the show. Welcome back.
Thank you. Yes, thank you so much for having me. It's great to be here.
Great to have you.
Well, let's start with, because some people may not know who Banksy is and all the hubbub about him. So, how would you explain his art?
I would say Banksy is the most famous artist in the world who no one really knows who Banksy is. And it's been a very interesting, fascinating time to live in with this artist here.
Yeah, because Reuters did write an article about who the artist was. How does that what did happen?
So there was an article recently. I have not seen it. It's funny. All these items have come from the UK, and I've learned a lot of UK vernacular. So I would say rubbish or bollocks might be applicable to Reuters. But the artist has had, various breaking news stories of revelations of his or her identity for over 20 years. And I think this was the most recent iteration of that.
Okay. Does that kind of appeal to the mystery behind it and kind of make the art a little more
I think that, regardless of identity, we all know that Bruce Wayne is Batman. We know Clark Kent is Superman. I'm not sure that the identity really has any significant impact in the artist base, but it does make life more interesting for sure, not knowing.
Yeah, a little fun.
Yeah. Well, you brought some stuff for us to help us get a visual idea of his art. So what are we looking at here?
Yeah, so these are all items from the United Kingdom. These are Banksy grails, or again, going back to my UK mates, shout out to the Facebook Banksy Locations group members there. These would be called rare as hen's teeth items. That's how rare they are. That's a UK term for extremely, extremely obscure. So what we're looking at here is a couple of things related to some of them, which is one of his most famous images, the flower thrower. So in the year 2000, Banksy was commissioned by Wall of Sound Records to do a limited run of album artwork. And this was the image that he chose for the record album titled "We Love You, So Love Us." It was really the image that became most popular with him in the mid-2000s. Several years later, when he painted that same image on the Western Wall, that it really grabbed hold of the public's hearts, and it's really one of my favorite images as well.
Yeah.
What I love about this image here, this poster is a promo poster from the "We Love You, So Love Us" album launch party. It's extremely rare. There's only 2 other known in existence.
Wow.
This came to me by Eddie Locke Gallery in the UK. Shout out to my Eddie Locke mate. But if you look very closely at the center of the bottom image here, you'll see a copyright logo with Banksy's name on it. And the artist is very well known for being anti-copyright, and yet we see in one of his earliest printed items, we see that he was very concerned about controlling his artwork. So that makes this piece especially special.
Yeah. Okay, and some of his images are also on T-shirts. You brought a couple, and we have some video of it too.
He's done a limited number run of T-shirts over the years. This is his very first shirt that the artist has ever done. It's from 1998. It's got the big elephant on it, heavy weaponry, and you can see that the artist was kind of playing around with the idea of screen printing, which he ended up going and moving forward and doing a limited number run of screen prints over the years.
Very cool.
And then another shirt that the artist did in early 2000s, 2001 or so, features an adaptation of that flower thrower image. This is really referred to as "Love is in the Air," and you can see the official T-shirt logo with the elephant on it. Again, this is one of only 2 known really in existence. The other one is in very, very poor shape. So these are some really great items that the public probably hasn't seen previously.
Why do you love his artwork so much?
It's so fascinating. It's so fun. It relates to everyone, whether you're politically savvy or you're a novice, or if you just like art and just enjoy the creativity that the art brings forward. It's just fun, and it makes life more interesting in the most wonderful ways.
Thanks for sharing it with us.
I know. Thanks for having me. And they're having a show at the Strauss Center, so you can look into that and see more Banksy art.
Absolutely.
All right, that's coming up late July.